Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Benton. I'm here to speak with you about positive affirmations. In short, positive affirmations, they provide a tool for you to talk yourself through any and all of life's up and down moments. And naturally, we're going to have quite a few of those, right? So we're going to begin by discussing further what positive affirmations are, how they work, benefits of utilizing positive affirmations, steps to create, and tips to maintain. And finally, we'll end with some resources and a quick homework assignment. And don't worry, the homework will take you all of 5 minutes, and there's nothing that you need to hand in, and it is not graded, okay? So let's get started. Simply stated, positive affirmations are phrases that you repeat to change a negative thought into a positive thought. The key word here is that it's positive. So we want to rid ourselves and our subconscious minds of negative thoughts and behaviors. And instead, we want to create positive, optimistic, confident thoughts and behaviors. You choose your phrase or statement that you would like to use. And later, we'll discuss exactly how we choose them. But you're in control here. So what you say is up to you. If we constantly say to ourselves, I can't do this, or, I don't have the resources to do this, I can't, well, someday you're going to believe yourself, and that will negatively influence your relationships, your careers, etc. So again, positive affirmations are personal and unique to you, as you're the one that chooses that phrase. And this is what makes it a method of self-improvement. Okay, so to give you a brief example, pretend that your department manager or supervisor recently assigned you a new unfamiliar task. Naturally, we might feel or think, I can't do that, or how do I do that? Where do I begin? And naturally, you might begin to panic a little bit. Well, with positive affirmations, hopefully you'll recognize the new task and prepare yourself mentally. So perhaps instead of saying, I can't do this over and over, with positive affirmations, you might choose to say, I can do this, or, one step at a time over and over. So turning that negative situation into a positive situation. So you're staying positive, you're staying present, you're not thinking 2 weeks ahead, and you're training your mind to think positively naturally when a challenge is presented. So now we're going to go into how do they work. So over time, whatever you repeat to your subconscious mind, it begins to believe. So the thought process is if you're routinely putting positive energy and phrases into your mind, you'll start believing them. So your mind runs off of whatever you feed it, right? So you might as well make it positive. And it may be helpful to think of positive affirmations as if they are exercise, meaning that like exercise, we must repeat the movements or routines to see improvement. But with positive affirmations, in order to see a positive outlook on a situation or in our minds, we must continue to repeat the positive phrases or words that help to keep our thinking patterns positive. And like exercise regimens, it might take weeks or months to see a result. You most likely don't see results instantaneously, right? And the act of positive affirmations aligns with cognitive restructuring, which occurs when we modify or challenge our negative or irrational thoughts. And as you progress with your positive affirmations, you will start to notice that you become resilient when you see a challenge or obstacle, or you're faced with a change, or maybe you need to change a negative habit into a positive habit, because you already have the tools in your toolbox to persevere, meaning positive, confident mindset. So that's how I work, just like Thomas the Train. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and you can, right? And another thought I like to put out there is think about the places where you were successful in life. You were most likely confident and positive, whereas when you quote unquote failed, you were probably negative and doubtful, right? So stay confident, stay positive, right? Next, we're going to discuss some of the benefits of using these positive affirmations. So for starters, your brain is creating positive thought clusters and enhancing those feel-good hormones. So think good, feel good, right? The positive affirmations provide you a tool to get out of a negative situation or maybe even stop you before you have a chance to get into that negative mindset. So going back to that original example, if you were thrown a new task at work, you're much more likely to avoid getting moody or upset when you take a minute to tell yourself, deep breath, I can do this, or simply, I can do this, right? So positive affirmations, they do not provide a cure for anxiety, depression, or low self-esteem. So by all means, don't replace any medications if you decide to utilize positive affirmations, but they can certainly help you stay positive and find the light in a dark situation. So in that way, they can help anxiety, depression, low self-esteem. Okay. They can be used to simply remind yourself that, hey, this isn't that bad of a situation. It could be worse. I can do this, which helps keep you cool, calm, and collected, right? And of course, I can't forget to mention this. Everyone in general likes to be around a positive person, right? And not so much around a negative Nelly or a negative Nancy. So help your coworkers out, help your loved ones out by being positive and resilient. You might even become someone's role model by doing this, okay? So the moment you've all been waiting for, right? Steps to create. How can I create a positive affirmation? We know what they are. We know why we should use them, how they can benefit us. Let's talk about how we actually can create them. So there's 4 simple steps. There's not a time frame for each section. So this could take as little as 5 minutes, or it could take you closer to an hour. Depends on how in depth you want to go. So first step is to reflect. So what is it that you want to change? What is it that you want to overcome? What task are you working on that you're trying to complete? Is it to have more patience with a loved one or a coworker? Is it to complete a PowerPoint that you're working on? Is it to make it to the weekend? Or is it to quit smoking? And write this down, okay? So as you're reflecting, you want to write down just one thing at a time. You don't want to overwhelm our thoughts. So one change, one task, one barrier that we're trying to overcome. And jot that down, okay? Next is when you find a short phrase. So, or a phrase, a slogan, a statement, and this is what's going to help you achieve your desired goal, okay? So what words do you need to say to yourself in order to help you get to reach your goal or persevere or complete the task? Okay, this might be the bulk of your, this might take the most time out of all the steps to find that phrase, what you're going to say to yourself. And we'll go over in the next section, in the tips section, a few more things that can help you with the phrase, but in general, you want to keep it as short and concise as possible. Keep it realistic and specific, okay? So I have a few examples here. I am productive. I am a powerhouse. I am calm. I can do this. I am protected. I am capable. I am awesome. Whatever it is that helps you overcome that fear, that barrier, or complete that task. Okay, then you're going to be sure to turn any negatives into positives. So you want to keep your positive affirmation positive, right? And optimistic. Okay, so for example, you don't want to say in your positive affirmation, I'm not going to go broke. Instead, you would want to change this into, I'm going to be wealthy. That's keeping it positive. You don't have a negative in there. Another example, you would not want to say, I'm not talented enough to progress in my career. And instead, you could say, I'm skilled and professional. Okay? Keep it positive. And the last step in your positive affirmation is that you want to repeat the phrase, the slogan, the statement that you created with feeling and mean it, okay? So just like creating habits, there's no specific number of days or times that you need to repeat your chosen affirmation before you believe it, okay? Everybody is different, and everybody has a different affirmation in mind or goal that they're trying to reach, and it may take some days, where it may take others months or years, or this might be a lifetime affirmation that you say to yourself. So it depends on the affirmation you're working with and the behavior or the challenge that you're trying to overcome. But in general, you'll want to repeat this affirmation daily for 1 to 5 minutes as necessary, and do your best not to miss a day, okay? So next, we're going to go into some tips for maintaining your affirmation, and tricks to keep in mind when you're repeating your affirmation. So the first thing is, one of the greatest things about positive affirmations are that they're portable, they're unique, and they're personal. So this being said, you can bring them to work with you. You can bring them home from work. You can say them out loud. You can keep them in your head. You could write them down for everybody to see, or you can keep them, locked up in your phone's notepad. You're in control, however you want to repeat them, however personal you want to keep them, that's up to you. You can do them with music. You can add deep breathing. You can do it in a really comfortable, relaxed environment with candles or essential oils. They're portable and they're personal to you. So, the choice is up to you, but it's nice to know you have options. And you want to be sure to keep them realistic, like I said in the last slide. If you're saying I'm going to be a millionaire over and over, but you don't have any goals in mind to reach in order to become that millionaire, don't choose that as your affirmation, okay? So if you can't believe in them, or you really don't truly want that to happen, it's unlikely that it will happen. So keep it realistic. And you also make sure that you're making them specific. So if you, for example, if you want to own a certain type of car or lose a certain amount of weight, name it, put that in your affirmation. I will lose 10 pounds. To be specific, okay? You want to start out by saying your affirmations daily. They say on average it takes about 1 month for affirmations to stick, but again, that depends on the goal that you have in your mind. But either way, affirmations are like exercise in that you don't see your dream body after exercising one time, usually, or at least I'm aware of. So stick to it, start out daily, start, anywhere between 1 and 5 minutes. And it's also nice to start your affirmation with I am. This makes the affirmation even more personal to you, and it actually helps you create a positive self-image and belief on who you are or that you will be. You want to keep them short, so you don't want to be repeating the same phrase over and over again if it's a paragraph long. So keep it short and concise and specific. And lastly, this may help some people, but maybe set a timer, or don't. If timers are not one of your friends, that's okay. But it may help some by helping you focus more on your affirmation rather than, all right, I know I have 5 minutes, before the noodles boil over, or and they push you to continue your repetitions until you hear that buzzer. So set the timer for as little or as long as you need to believe it. And you don't want to do it for too long where you're becoming distracted in your mind. So, if you're 10 minutes into it and you're thinking about tomorrow's work day or what you're going to make for dinner tomorrow, you probably reached your limit for that day. Okay. Next, we're going to go into some resources. So the first one, apps. Of course, there's an app for everything out there right now, right? So these are just 3 apps that I found really quickly when I was looking them up. Some do have in-app purchases, and some give you a free trial before you have to subscribe. But these are a few. They're pretty cool. The Think Up is one that you can actually record yourself saying your affirmation, and you can play it back when you need to hear yourself say it, right? The I Am Positive affirmation. This one and the unique daily affirmations, they both send you a positive affirmation as a notification on your phone. So you select which category you want to work on. So say it's exercise or family life, you select that and it sends you an affirmation for you. So you don't have to really think about one if you don't want to. If you don't want to use an app, you don't have to. This is just one way to get you started, get you familiar with some examples out there. Of course, you can use Google. If you Google a list of positive affirmations, you'll find plenty of sources out there. And Pinterest is huge. You can go on Pinterest and see how people post their daily positive affirmations. Some people put it on sticky notes. Some people put it in their phone. They have a notepad. It's really unique and up to you how far you want to go with it, how personal you want to keep it, or how if you want to broadcast that to anybody, you can. Another fun thing you can do as you become more familiar with your positive affirmation practice is to add breath. So, inhale, exhale, I can do this. And it might help you more than saying simply, I can do this. So feel free to add that in there. You might even notice when you're doing a certain yoga practice, maybe you have, sometimes you have a mantra, or, for your meditation, well, maybe you want to switch that out with a positive affirmation, and that would be cool too. Another thing you can do is write them down so you can actually see where you were in February of 2018. And you can track that progress, see when you reached your goal and when it was time to move on to a different affirmation. So it's just a nice way to see where you were and how you got to where you are today. You can make it a challenge. This would involve you to open up your positive affirmations to others, and be open to sharing them. So one way you could do this is, open up to your department. Maybe one person writes a daily affirmation for everybody to say at the morning meeting, and you post on the whiteboard and everybody says it 3 times. Maybe it's in their head throughout the day, or maybe you say it all together. That's one way to involve your department. You can certainly open this up to your family, your friends, whoever you want to open it up to, you can certainly do that. All right, last but not least, your homework assignment. But again, don't be nervous, it's really easy. So your assignment is to take action and practice positive affirmations. So between now and 12 p.m. tomorrow, take 5 minutes for yourself. In the 5 minutes, I want you to create a positive affirmation based off of a challenge that you're currently facing, or a challenge that you're approaching, or a habit that you're trying to create or change, okay? So once you come up with that phrase, your positive affirmation, repeat it at least 10 times. You'll know when to stop, when it gets to be too much. And, at the bare minimum, you will either start your day or end your day positively and motivated. It'll distract you from whatever stress you're currently going through, and just give you some time to yourself and to reflect on what's coming your way and how you're going to get through that. And you'll feel cool, calm, and collected, and you'll feel centered and ready to continue on with your day, okay? So I'd like to end this with a quick positive affirmation on, for the whole health system. We are a huge system out here, and we have so many talented, helpful associates here. So this is one for all of us, okay? Doylestown Health is resilient, united, and courageous. Okay, so thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, give me a phone call. Extension is 2657, and my email is abenton@dh.org. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.